Good morning. Do you perform exorcisms on toilets?
Click.
Hey everyone, welcome to an all-new episode of The Rewind Guys. I'm your host, Patrick, and to my right is the other host, Russell. We are continuing on with Pooptober with Death Toilet from 2018. Before we continue, does this meet Pooptober's expectations?
I mean, I guess it's got the criteria, you know?
Does it?
There was no pooping. There was a lot of farting.
Yeah, this would have been
There
more...
may have been some pooping going on, but they didn't really show that.
Yes. Well,
So,
because my argument, I'm glad actually that you're on my side a little bit with saying, like, yes, I think you're being nice here, actually. But there are some times when they're showing all the clips of the toilet and it's flushing. There's some particles. And arguably they're feces particles. So it still could work for Pooptober, which is ridiculous, I know. But I've gone this far, and I gotta stick to it. I have stick-to-itiveness. I'm gonna stick to Pooptober.
sticky poop.
I'm barely hanging on with Death Toilet, okay?
Death Toilet is great.
Kind of sound like it's laughing. I don't know. I'm sure your guy can figure it out because it's just a household toilet.
I feel like it was... They were trying to hit the hour mark, I feel like.
If you didn't know any better, you would just wonder, like, did they just forget to stop recording? I mean, there are some scenes that linger for so long. This movie is 53 minutes. On IMDb, it says 1 hour, but no, it is not an hour. This movie has an intermission.
Which is kind of weird. Why is the intermission, like, 5 minutes before the end of the movie?
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing, too, because I'm like, this is really weird, and it kind of runs for a minute or two.
Yeah,
and you're just kind
enough
of like,
to stretch it to try to hit that hour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very much so.
A lot of the scenes seemed like it was like, okay, just keep doing that over and over again, and then I'll just cut out the part I want. And then instead of cutting the part, they just kept him doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah. I have a couple of scenes I would like to talk about with that, and we'll get there. Let's get into the plot of this fantastic film known as Death Toilet. The story begins. It's Vietnam.
Which you know because of the grenade necklace.
Yes, oh my God. I watched that, and I was really hoping that they were playing that off like it's a real grenade. I've kind of figured they must have been. Otherwise, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. So Vietnam happens. This Brett Baxter guy comes back, and apparently he has PTSD, which doesn't play into the story, which I feel is a missed opportunity. So he comes back. He has to deal with his brother's apartment because his brother died in the apartment, and I guess he's gonna figure some stuff out. I think he wants to know what happened to his brother. He wants to take care of the apartment. He has to sell the apartment. All this stuff happens. While he's there, he hears what?
What was the first? Laughing?
Yes.
Was that the first thing he heard?
I think it's the first thing he heard. Well, wait. What are some of the other things he heard?
Well, I mean, like, didn't it take over a good 30 minutes before he heard the laughing, or is that right away?
Oh God, no. I mean, I'm not gonna get super specific because it's probably like a good 30 minutes before he hears the laughing, but it's like 30 minutes before.
Yeah, well,
he actually gets settled into the apartment. There's a lot of driving and walking around.
I especially like the scene where he's walking to the door.
Like what he's just like sitting, like standing there.
He like slowly walks up and then just stands there and looks at it for a long.
Wait, are we talking about the door to the apartment or when he walks up to look at the
Both.
stairs? I was wondering what was going on. That was a weird camera angle for the stairs because the first time I seen this, because I watched it twice, I thought he walked up and he turned. I thought he was staring at a wall, and I had no idea what was going on. And so so he hears laughing and like, you know, this toilet's giving him bad vibes. It's bad vibes.
Bad vibes. Seen this before. Bad vibes.
Which, wait,
he saw it in Nam.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk about that too because I don't even know. he hears laughing from the toilet, and so he has to get it fixed. He calls at first he calls a plumber, and the plumber can't find anything wrong with it. You know, the valves are looking good. The drainage
valve.
the drainage valve.
I mean, I'm not a plumber. I haven't done work on a lot of toilets, but I've worked on a couple, and I've never seen a drainage valve on the drain. It's just a tube.
So yeah, the drainage valve is looking good. Everything's looking great. Then he realizes, okay, I apparently need a priest.
Yeah.
So he calls around to find somebody who takes him seriously, I guess. And so he finds this guy. This guy comes over, and he's gonna perform an exorcism on the toilet, which goes on for probably longer than it should, like everything else.
But, you know, this was the most action-packed part, though.
It really was.
This was good. You know, a lot of quick edits and effects. I like the fire effects that kind of like float around the screen.
It's like some particle illusion stuff. Yeah. And so, yes, he does an exorcism on the toilet. It really is. This is the most action you're going to get out of this movie. And so it happens. And, okay, spoiler alert if you're going to see the movie. You know, why does he use the toilet? But he uses the toilet, and the toilet kills him.
Well, because it was exercise. The priest said it was clean.
Oh,
so he was like, "Oh, I can take a poop."
I
now.
didn't know it was ever confirmed that it was. Oh, I must have missed that.
This toilet is clean. After he expelled all his energy exercising in the toilet.
By the way, side note, that toilet was not clean. Do like the realism, but
there wasn't anything in this movie clean. The apartment was nasty. The main character was nasty. His clothes were nasty. The whole thing looked like they just got all of it out of the dumpster and just were like, we're doing this.
Yeah, the main character guy looked like a cross between like Vincent D'Onofrio and Mark Ruffalo. If they had like a baby somehow, it's this guy. And so yes, okay, so he sits on the toilet and, you know, he's blowing it up and knife appears. Okay, hold on. Let me just finish this up before I even ask this question. Knife appears, cuts him up. He falls to the floor. Knife sticks out, gets him in the throat, and the guy dies. He suffers the same fate as his brother. Brother, by the way, was the director.
Oh.
So, and that's the end of the movie, with the exception, there is a setup for the sequel. I think there's like 4 death toilets, maybe 5.
What?
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's like a whole saga. This just goes on.
Do you think they get better? Do you think they get like some practice and figure out what they're doing? And
I kind of hope so, because I'm not gonna lie, this has potential.
It could have,
yes,
but they didn't.
Like, this had me geeked and pumped up. Like, I wanted to make a death toilet movie. I mean, like, no joke. So yeah, so he dies, and then it sets up for the sequel where it's like, oh, you know, you hear the guy on the phone. He's trying to kind of, I guess, sell the apartment.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it sets you up that way. Bam, go to credits. Movie's done. That's the whole movie. Here's the thing. I want to read the synopsis that was on the thing. Okay, listen to this. This sounds pretty good. When Vietnam veteran Brett Baxter comes home to settle his dead brother's affairs, he soon realizes that his toilet might be the embodiment of Satan. That sounds good. It sounds weird, but it sounds great.
I don't know about great. You know, it sounds like something.
Yeah, if you like garbage movies, as I do, this sounds great.
This is toilet humor.
Whoa! It really is. No, actually, there's no humor in this.
The grenade necklace, which looked exactly like this.
Yeah, it really did.
And the testicles.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
The testicles.
The eyeballs are testicles?
I think the eyeballs are testicles. Because I don't know why they picked eyeballs.
When I first seen this, I was like, oh, wait, are they the testicles? But then at the end, when it happened to his brother and they were the same eyeballs, I mean, I guess I'm sure most testicles.
They're brothers. They have matching testicles. We can compare ours and be the same.
I mean, they probably look the same. I can't imagine testicles differing once you pull them out of the sack.
Yeah, they just look like eyeballs.
Yeah, but
with the pupil and everything.
But, like, I wasn't for sure if that was supposed to be the testicles or if that's the toilet. Like, it's alive. You know?
Maybe. I just assume because, like, he's sitting on the toilet and the knife comes across.
Yes.
And then the eyeballs fall, and I'm thinking, then your testicle. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's, like I said, that's what I thought the first time. But I guess when it happened the second time, I was thinking,
They probably just used the same footage.
They probably did, actually. because a lot of footage gets recycled.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I was wondering too about the whole Vietnam thing. I wonder if that was just kind of like a reason to insert a lot of like B-roll stock footage BS as filler.
Yeah,
because
like public domain images and stuff,
because there's no reason, like that doesn't come into play at all. My first thought was going to be that, oh, so he's a Vietnam guy, so when all this craziness is happening to him, no one was going to take him serious. Like, oh, dude, maybe you should seek some help or something. That war really messed you up.
Well, they did kind of at the very end when the priest was talking to him. They did. They did bring it into the story at the end.
Okay, wait. Kind of.
Because the priest was like, hey, what happened to your brother, and you're having this toilet situation, and, I know you were in Nam, and, people, like, don't like you because you were in the war and stuff, so you should come to church more often and talk about these things.
But,
Did you watch that part?
Yeah, no, I did. But that doesn't make any sense. He said all this after he exercised the toilet as if, like... So, it's not like this guy experienced something that didn't happen. Like, it's a PTSD thing. Like, dude, you need to just kind of chill out a little bit, whatever. This is a legit thing. The toilet was possessed.
Well, yeah. I mean, they could have made a PTSD thing, which would have made it more, like, realistic, I think. Because obviously a toilet isn't going to be possessed.
Well, right.
But I'm just saying they did bring it in at the very end there. The priest mentioned it.
Yeah, but
that was, like, really the only
I'm not even saying all this had to be because of PTSD. I just thought, like, no one was going to take him serious. Like that was going to be kind of like the obstacle he was going to have to overcome. By the way, I also want to say, I did some research for the game I have later on, and I actually like the idea of a possessed toilet. Do you know? This is an actual little bonus trivia thing here. Do you know how many people annually die on the toilet?
No.
42.
Oh.
I mean, it's not an astronomical number, but the fact of the matter is 42 people a year die on the toilet, which means there could very well be possessed toilets, haunted toilets.
I suppose.
Yes. So it's there. The possibility is there. Okay, you want a bigger number?
Scientifically,
yes.
This is plausible.
Yes, it is.
Come on, Mythbusters.
Okay, so if you want a larger number, how's this for you? Guess how many people annually get injured on the toilet?
1,000.
If I remember correctly, I want to say it was 44,000.
Wow.
That's how many people get injured on the toilet.
Well, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. It was probably like people like me. I haven't fallen yet, but I step on my toilet a lot to get to the shelves behind it and whatnot, so it's only a matter of time before it breaks, the seat slips, and I fall off,
Hit your head, discover the flux capacitor.
Yes. And then when I die, I'll just haunt that toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning. Do you perform exorcisms on toilets? Hello?
Are you ready?
What?
To play America's favorite new game. Life or Death. Killer Toilet. I am going to read you 4 stories. Little snippets. Okay? You have to tell me if the person in the story survived their toilet ordeal or died.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's see if I can get through these. Like many European city centers, oh my god. Like many European city centers, Amsterdam has a problem with late-night revealers with full bladders who do not have anywhere to relieve themselves. So, to stop public urination and save space, toilets were installed that can retract into the ground and only emerge at night. For one unfortunate man on a moped, however, one pop-up toilet popped up a bit too fast. One witness described it as an explosion. Did that man survive?
Yes.
Here is the answer. The toilet launched the man and his moped into the air. Luckily, the man was only treated for minor injuries, though his moped was badly damaged. That is insane.
Wait, is it just a toilet that comes up in the middle of the street and he's like pooping it? Is it still like revealing, or is it like a whole room?
I'm assuming it's probably like a porta-john kind of situation.
When you were reading that, all I could imagine was just a single solitary toilet coming up like out of the sidewalk.
I do love that idea, but if they didn't want people to publicly urinate and reveal themselves, it seems like it's going to have, like,
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just saying. Okay. So, yes, you got that one right. That's 1 for 1. Let's see if you can keep it up. Here comes the next one. Surprise trips to the toilet can have disastrous outcomes. For example, in 1184, ooh, very recent. In 1184,
Yeah, toilets?
the King of Germany, Henry VI, invited his nobles to a meeting. The lords and nobles gathered before the king in the church of a fortress, while the king sat in splendor before them. Just as the aristocratic guests took their seats, the wooden floor of the church gave way under their weight. They plummeted down into the latrine underneath them, plunging into a liquid slurry of human waste.
Someone died. It's they got like an infection or something. It's 1100s. They're not making it.
All right, so here we go. Here's the answer. The assembled lords and, oh my God, retainers, I guess. Lords and retainers were drowned or suffocated by fumes. 60 people are said to have died in the disaster. However, King Henry survived because he was sitting on the section of floor that was stone. That is messed
planned.
up. It probably was. So yes, you're correct. 60 people.
Wow.
That's nuts.
What a shitty way to go, am I right?
Whoa. All right, 2 for 2. Moving on to the third one. In 1978.
Oh, this movie took place probably in 78 or something.
Oh, yeah. Michael Anderson Godwin was sentenced to the electric chair for murders of sexual assault. Oh, I'm sorry, not murders of sexual assault. Murders and sexual assault.
He murdered sexual assaults.
Yes, before he was executed, however, a review of the sentence was carried out that found him innocent of the assault. So Godwin avoided the electric chair. While in prison, he was watching his television while using headphones. He was also sitting on his metal toilet. It seems there must have been a problem with his headphones because Godwin began to bite on the cable that connected them to the TV. As soon as his teeth touched the wires within, he was electrocuted.
He's fine. Not that much electricity comes through headphones.
That's what one would think, but Godwin died of his injuries, and the death was ruled a bizarre accident.
Those 70s?
Yeah, I think it said 78.
Okay, maybe they had like some weird, like giant, big ass, like car battery cable hookup to the headphones.
Oh my
That makes sense.
goodness. Yeah, that's nuts. Which I think it was fate. Like he was sentenced to the electric chair and got off, I guess, on a like technicality type situation, but then was electrocuted to death anyway.
What kind of kink to get off on technicalities?
All right. So, 2 correct, 1 wrong. Moving on. In 2016, a Norwegian man dropped his phone into a toilet while urinating. His friend, Cato Larson, did not think twice before leaping into action. He jumped into the toilet feet first and became stuck. The public toilet was not connected to the sewer, but rather had a tank that was emptied just once per year. He found himself up to his thighs in sewage. So I'm assuming it's like a porta-john situation?
Yeah. Like one of those vault toilet things.
Yeah. Which, by the way, what a good friend. If one of my friends dropped their phone in the toilet, I don't care.
I don't care if there's another baby in the toilet. And be like, well, make a new one.
Yeah. I mean, if they wanted it that badly, they're going in,
That's when you get like some like shoelaces and a piece of gum and you're trying to get it out of there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So what do you think? Did this person survive this incident or succumb to the murderous actions
Yeah, they
of
made
the
it.
toilet?
They're fine.
Yeah, they're fine. Larson panicked due to the confined space and vomited. Firefighters were called, and they were able to rescue the unfortunate man by cutting open the toilet. And so we are all clear, the phone was lost forever.
He didn't even get the phone.
He didn't even get the phone. What an idiot.
Leave this toilet, demon be gone. Oh, unclean spirit, demon, the power of his life compels. Be gone, demon, be gone.
Oh, I'm so glad. I caught this in the beginning, and I'm glad it came around. glad it came around. Something was spoken during the Vietnam flashback, and I made note of this. It says, a man with a weapon is, if he is a reasonable man, a man with a purpose. And then it shows him with a grenade. He is a man with a weapon, and that means a man with a purpose.
If he's a reasonable man.
Well, he seemed rather reasonable.
His first conclusion was, the toilet killed my brother, which it did turn out to be
Yes!
so. But it seems unreasonable to jump to that.
Not if you hear a toilet laughing. He's a reasonable man, so the laughter was justified. It works. Okay? I'm just saying. Damn it, I was going to piggyback on that argument with something else, and it's gone. This movie is the least exciting movie you will ever watch. It is not only slow, but there are so many phone talking conversation scenes.
That was, like, at least it broke up the nothingness.
Yeah, that is true. There's something... This sounds stupid, but the main character guy cannot emote to save his life. He has zero emotion. But when he talks on the phone, it's extremely believable. like
It's natural.
it is. He's so monotone. When he's talking, I'm just like, he has like an honesty in his voice.
No, it's not leaking. I think the toilet appears to be functioning correctly. No leaks. No, it doesn't. It just doesn't run on its own. But I think there's like something internally wrong with it.
And if it wasn't for the fact that he was repeating everything that the person on the other end was supposed to be saying so that we knew what the conversation was, I would have bought his performance talking on the phone like 100%. It's, an estimated budget of $500, which I'm calling bullshit on. This has no budget. Yeah, it was about $5.
All the props came from the dollar store.
Yeah,
And they didn't change any of them.
No. Yes, this has zero budget, guaranteed.
The gun still had the little orange tip on it.
Oh, my... yeah, let's talk about the tip.
Tiny plastic...
Can you just talk about the tip for a second?
Just the tip.
Just the tip. I hate that. No, look it. I have seen another movie semi-recently where they used an airsoft gun as a real gun. I don't care. I'm not a huge gun person, so even if it's a fake gun, unless it's like insanely obviously fake, like, neon colors or something, I really don't know the difference. But like, would it kill you to like put a little bit of electrical tape or something on there? Mask it slightly? I'm not saying I'm into this movie. But when I see that, it takes me out of the movie,
That was what did it for you.
Yes, that's what took me out of the movie.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 1970s. And I think the only thing they did to cover up that it was 2018 was they used like an old phone. The rotary, didn't they have like a black phone with like a little cord on it?
Yeah, I think
that was the only thing.
You're right.
Everything else, everything in the background, all the stuff, everything was just modern day stuff.
Can I be honest and tell you that I had no idea this was supposed to be the 70s?
Well, he came from Vietnam.
I know that. That's what I thought was absurd. I just thought like the
it's
time
still going on.
Yeah, I just thought the time. No, not that it was necessarily still going on. I just thought that the timing didn't line up, and like he's just supposed to be like a really, really old guy or something.
Oh,
it's still 2018. He just happened to fight Vietnam.
I think he just came out and went from Vietnam to his brother's apartment in the 70s.
Oh,
is what I took it from, because they said something about 1970 in the very start. So I thought, okay, we're in the 70s. But the only thing they did was the phone and a phone book.
I did not pick up on that. No, I thought it was modern day. He just was in Vietnam, which I know makes no sense because is there even anybody left from Vietnam?
I think there's still some. Yeah, there's still some Vietnam.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know these things. Another phone scene. He's calling around for priests, which is pretty funny, I guess. Look,
trying to be.
Here's the thing, and I was kind of trying to touch on this earlier, and I think I got sidetracked, which is just my MO. It's what I do for everything. Is that I think the movie tries to be funny by subject matter,
Yeah.
but there's nothing funny in the movie. There's no jokes. Like, there's no, like, real...
I think they tried to make it serious, but I think that was supposed to be the funny part.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But even the seriousness of it, like, you missed the mark. It's not really... I feel like anybody... God, this sounds so horrible. I sound like a complete jerk, but I feel like anybody could have done better.
You hear that, Mike?
Oh, my goodness. No, I just feel like you could have made it more serious by still not putting all the effort in. Because I think that's the whole point. I think they wanted to make a movie. I think they wanted it to be funny, and I think they took away all the effort to make it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
But I just feel like you could have done better. I'm sorry. Maybe that sounds like pretentious and like whatever,
Let's
but
see your toilet movie.
I know. Oh my God, I seriously want to make one now.
You know, I think the whole movie, the problem of the movie being crap, could have been solved by just making it like 20 minutes long.
Yes, yeah.
Because the stuff that did happen wasn't that bad. It's just like you had to wait 15 minutes of nothing to get like 5 seconds of something happening.
Yes. I read a review that somebody had said that, same thing, like the editing is the biggest issue with this, movie, amongst other things that they had complained about. But they said they felt this movie could have been edited down to 35 minutes. And I feel you could shave off another 10
yeah.
easy. I think 25 minutes is still being rather generous. Yeah. But I think it's possible. And I think it actually would make a much nicer movie. Well, I guess at that point it's a short film. But, yeah, I just saying.
And how many production companies... remember the start of this? There's
Yes.
like this one and then like all these fancy effects and all this stuff's
Yeah.
happening. And then you get this like movie that wasn't anything.
Oh, my God. When it very first started, and it was like, I don't know what the hell it was called, like Epic something.
Yeah.
And it was a really professional-looking production, I guess, splash screen. I don't know the hell you call it.
Yeah, and there's like 2 other ones.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, maybe we're in for a treat here.
3 different companies were involved in this.
Yeah, 3 different companies, and each one is just some made-up POS of each one of the actors, just to slap on the movie. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, I seen those 2, and I'm like, oh, all right. And it did not come across. That did not come across at all. So yeah, they exercised the toilet. No, the priest. This is what I was trying to get to. When he's calling around and he's trying to get a priest, every time he mentions a toilet, it's like click, which is a weird sounding click effect as per usual, but whatever. Everybody's hanging up on him. He finally gets to the 3rd one. Or not 3rd one, but I think it's like 6th actually. He gets to one of them and says, look, I think I have a problem with this item in my house. He's going all around it. He's trying not to say toilet. And I thought, oh, okay. So he's not going to say toilet. The guy's going to come there, and then it's going to be like, toilet, oh my God, or whatever. But then he says it. He said, well, actually, it's a toilet in my brother's house, and I think it's like laughing, whatever. So he gets it all set up. He's talking about payments and all this jazz, and the priest shows up. And he tells the priest, it's upstairs, it's the toilet. And the priest is like, a toilet? Really? You are wasting my time. I only took this as a favor to your family. You know how many other people could be using my time right now? You call for a toilet? And this goes on for like 5 minutes. And then even as he's looking at the toilet, he's just like, oh my God, this goes on so long. He's just looking at this toilet.
Well, yeah, I think the priest felt sorry for him because, like he said in the one part, he knew the guy. He's like, I know your brother. I know you have some issues going on, but come on. A toilet, like...
Well, okay, but he doesn't have to be a complete jackass about it.
He's just trying to get him...
He's like...
hey, you got issues. It's obviously not the toilet. What do you want to talk? Let's come on. Let's be real with each other.
Well,
Let's be
okay,
honest.
and that's perfectly fine, but you can convey this without being so aggressive. You can be like, look, I took
He's
this...
a priest with a neck tattoo. This guy's tough, okay? He's not fucking around.
It's so true. But yeah, like, you could have just been like, look, I took this as a favor to your family. I really don't think this is anything, but if it makes you feel better, I'll take a look. That's all he had to say, but he's such an asshole to this guy. Look, man, I'm a priest. People need me out there. You are wasting my time. And yeah, I'm cracking up at the scene. It's ridiculous.
You aren't kidding. Like, you got to be kidding me. An actual toilet?
I need your help.
Do you realize the Lord has many jobs to do, and we can't be talking about you. Look at me. No, look at me. I can't. There's people out there that need me. I can't waste my time on a toilet.
This is so bad.
But then, the priest was like doing a pretty good job acting.
Yeah, no,
He
yeah,
was
it's all right.
splashing the holy water. He's getting all sweaty and he's shaking and his jowls are shaking and he's, he's getting into it.
Can I, comparatively to Blood Fart Lake,
Okay.
the acting is stellar.
Yeah.
Like, it's good.
Yeah.
I feel like if they actually had a good story and moved things along, this wouldn't be that bad. They didn't utilize everything correctly.
Yeah.
But they did it better. I will admit that.
Yes.
They did it a little bit better. So yeah, he performs his exorcism and there's like explosions galore and you get all these effects and there's like imagery everywhere. And then you get an intermission right in the midst of all this for, I don't know,
To use the toilet.
I guess.
Because these days we can't pause it, especially on Tubi.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
No. This is solely in there, like every other shot, to pad the damn runtime. That is it. But we come back, and the exorcism finishes up. The priest is like, I must have missed this, but hey, your toilet's clean. No, it's not. That is a dirty-ass toilet. And life moves on. Then at the end, Brett Baxter sits on there, gets his little satchel slashed by the knife,
Yep.
which I love that this toilet has a knife. I don't know why. That cracks me up.
And again, it's the knife you get in the play sets for children at the dollar store.
Oh my God.
It's the little plastic serrated garbage knife.
It never even hit me. Like, I knew the grenade. I seen those things at the dollar store a million times, but I forgot it does. It comes in the exact same place set with the stupid little commando knife.
I think all of the stuff they used came in a $1 kit at the store.
That's awesome. Like, I love that. I do. I love that. It's great. I mean, if you're going to make a movie on zero budget, that is fantastic. I give them props for that one.
Props for their props.
Props to the prop department. Yeah, that's the end. It cuts to where you're just kind of like gliding through the apartment up the stairs as you hear the voiceover of, it's got all this stuff. You're going to really love it here. But some I have to tell you some weird things did happen. It was toilet related. It's kind of bizarre, but it's nothing major, blah, blah, blah. So they're setting up for the sequel. And that's it. Cut to the credits. Not a moment too soon. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get into ratings.
Intermission.
Whoa! All right, we're back, and it's time to get into ratings. Russell, what are you going to rate Death Toilet from 2018?
Like you said, a lot of this, although terrible, appears better than last week's movie that we did. And so I got to give it a slightly better rating. So instead of a 0.5, I'm going to give it a 1. The movie gets a 1.
Oh, all right. All right. Here's the deal. I actually slightly enjoyed this movie, oddly. Like, I hated it, and it was slow. But I don't know. I liked what they were going for. I'm going to give this, like, I'm battling. I'm teetering. It's right there. Part of me actually really wants to give it a 2. But I just feel like that's a little wrong. I got to give it a 1.5. I'm giving this a 1.5. I do think that if you like bad movies, it's probably worth a watch.
Maybe.
It is. It's a little rough and it's a little slow, but it's kind of fun. It's not that long. It has a little bit of a time warping effect, kind of, but it's not bad.
The movie could work.
It
If
could
was
work.
half as long, at least.
Yeah, if you re-edit it, it probably would be a lot better. But no, it's all right. It's a 1.5. maybe a 2 if I were to watch this again, which I probably won't. But if I watch this again, it could be a 2. Could be a 2.
I'm feeling like we're going to be seeing more of Death Parade.
It's possible. That being said, Farttober is going to continue next week, so join us for an all-new episode. And if this is not your first time here, subscribe. Yeah. And that's it. All the fart noises used are real.
It said that in the credits.
Did it? I don't watch the credits. I don't watch the credits.
The smelly farts in here because I farted.
It is the spirit of Pooptober.
It's the toilet man. I'm telling you, it's bad vibes.